why you should play vanilla era World of Warcraft in 2023.
The classic WoW has been out almost 4 years at this point. That's a
That's
hell
a
of a long
long
time
time.
to still not have Thunder Fury. Since then, we've had the Burning Crusade, Wrath, Season of Mastery, and hell, I wouldn't be surprised if we have Classic Cataclysm announced by the end of the year, which is pretty nuts to be honest.
That most likely will happen.
But what's more interesting to me is the current state of Vanilla era WoW, which is currently going through what I can only describe as a complete resurrection. I have not seen the Vanilla Classic servers this busy since Classic WoW launched back in 2019.
Wow.
It's insane.
If this is current footage, this is actually completely wild. Look at how many people there are, and notice that they are from different guilds also. That's insane.
And if you're one of those people sitting on the fence and thinking about jumping back into Vanilla on a fresh character, or starting the game for the very first time, then this is the video for you. Why? Because I have done just that. Some time ago, I created a brand new character on a Vanilla era server I'd never
And it's a rogue. High five, my boy. We are the chosen ones.
played on before. It was a completely fresh start for me, and since then, over the last few weeks, I've been leveling, running dungeons, being mind controlled down chimneys, and generally having a fucking great time, to be honest with you. From that experience, I can
Nice.
absolutely confirm that Vanilla era Classic WoW is booming right now. There are new players everywhere, running...
And hardcore is coming soon. Official hardcore. And, well, you have probably seen the video where one guy literally wipes almost everyone in Nax. 27 people or something like that. Instantaneously wiped and griefed. It was amazing.
Dungeons is a super smooth experience, and forming groups takes only a few minutes most of the time. I've just
Nice.
finished questing through Duskwood, and completing the many elite quests was easy because of how many other players were adventuring alongside me, ready and eager to talk, group up, and get the job done. Obviously, I can't speak for the American servers because I play on EU, but I've heard that
The American servers are too fat to quest.
it's the same over there, with a massive surge in new and returning players to the vanilla game. The question here, though, is why? Why is this happening in the first place? After all, Vanilla WoW hasn't had any new content since the original Classic release.
Imagine if Vanilla WoW had new content. Imagine if Blizzard did what everyone in the world is begging them secretly to do and said, yeah, we're gonna release Vanilla Plus. It's gonna be World of Warcraft Vanilla, but we're gonna rebalance things, add new skills, add new raids, add new things, and we're literally gonna just not go high, but go wide with Vanilla World of Warcraft. If they did that, Blizzard's stock would literally quadruple in seconds forever.
If you don't count the Season of Mastery, which was a bit, So why are people returning to play the game now? Honestly, I think it comes down to the nature of Vanilla as a game, and what differentiates it from Wrath Classic and Retail WoW, which I think is where many players are coming from right now. This could be summarised pretty simply as, the journey is the destination.
True.
Now we've all heard the
Big
meaningful
true.
journey shit when it comes to vanilla, but honestly it's pretty accurate. World of Warcraft has never been a sandbox game, but vanilla WoW is far closer to a sandbox than any subsequent version of the game.
Yeah, makes
Leveling
sense.
takes time. It fosters a bond between player and character. New spells and improvements in gear, as well as simple things like making the most of professions while you level, and using the auction house to build up the money for spells and mounts. All of these things make that journey to max level feel like much more of an adventure in its own right than in any other version of WoW.
True.
You don't log in just to get to level 60. You log in because you want to play your character, regardless of what its current level is.
I mean, I logged in because I wanted to get level 60, not gonna lie, and good times were had. 2 over Veiling Cavern where I ninja loot all of that stuff at the end because fuck this group of literal incompetent morons. Oh, Ash is telling people in World Chat that I'm gonna pay them 50 gold if they help me kill this elite. Just duping the guy, and after somehow ending up in a guild with the same guy, and I had to repay that 50 gold. Yeah, the world's an insane place, what can I say?
Feeling of adventure is only strengthened by the game's approach to cooperation and interaction between players. There was a common misconception which was heavily ridiculed before the release of Classic WoW that vanilla was really hard, something which people quickly realised is not accurate. Mechanically speaking, vanilla WoW is far simpler than any subsequent version of the game. What people really meant was that vanilla is far less forgiving than modern WoW, far less solo friendly, and that everything takes more time. What this means for players is that working together is the best way to deal with many challenges presented by the game. You talk to people, you accomplish things together that due to the nature of the game would have been extremely difficult or impossible for you to achieve on your own, which makes the feeling of jolly cooperation all the more powerful. This is how bonds in games are made. This is how friendships are made. The reality is that I've added more new people to my friends list in the 2 weeks of playing vanilla WoW than they have in 2 years of playing retail. And I'm much more likely to keep adding people to the friends list considering...
Yeah, literally same experience, by the way. Completely same experience.
...that they crop up again and again out in the world because the servers aren't mashed together in a cross-realm system where you never see someone more than once. Okay, so we've gone over the meaningful journey and the focus on cooperation with other players. These things are essential, but I think there's more to it than that, which makes vanilla so popular. I think that a big part of what draws people back to the vanilla game is the simple, honest fantasy of the game. You play as a nobody, setting forth on an adventure to become a somebody in a world filled with fantasy races.
He's trying to say that there's no one saying, "Champion, it's time to save the dimension world and 3 stories above us, that grandma." Yeah, that's pretty much what he's saying. And it is refreshing, you know? Time to time it gets boring to be the savior of the country, the savior of the continent, the savior of the world, and then become the savior of the universe, multiverse, and extra-dimensional space and aliens. Yeah, sometimes I just want to be that guy who picked up a piece of wood and spanked a lich with it, you know? Yeah, that's also pretty fun.
Tons of varied locations and all manner of stories to explore. You don't have a single mega-mind plot being forced down your throat at all times, nor do you have to constantly adjust your expectations to the changing focus of the game's story and characters. All of this, in my opinion, serves to make the world feel much more realistic. It feels like a virtual world, and your character is just one of many people in it finding their place in that world. And
I mean, the interesting part about Classic was also the fact that there was no story, honestly. When you played Classic, what was the story? There wasn't the story. It was just a world you kind of can't recognize, and that was fun. There was no grand, overwhelming story. It was just a world slightly in motion.
Speaking of the world, it's just immense. You're not packed into a few small zones or a hub city all the time, but instead you're left to travel across vast distances, which only adds to that feeling of being in an actual virtual world rather than a condensed game level. I could go on and on, but to put it simply, people are coming back to vanilla WoW now because the game is timeless in a way that the other versions of WoW
is
just
so
aren't.
true.
You don't need a directed path of content or a new patch to consume for the game to be worth your time. In my opinion, it's one of the best games ever made, and it has aged better than any other game I can think of. In contrast to retail and the later stages of Wrath, vanilla offers a more sandbox experience, which I think appeals to a large portion of the community who just want to explore and create their own adventures rather than being forced to play the game in a certain fixed way to be doing it the right way. In vanilla, the right way is whatever you want it to be, as long as you're having fun. Something which, in my opinion at least, got lost somewhere along the way.
I want World of Warcraft Classic Plus, please, Blizzard. After 20 years, they're gonna, be again desperate and be like, yeah, Diablo 20 is not cutting it anymore.
To modern WoW. I wanted to make this video because to me, the more people who come back to vanilla or get into it for the first time, the better. In an ideal world, I would love for this surge of interest to result in Blizzard finally seriously looking at the prospects of additional content for vanilla WoW in the spirit of the original game.
He's a chosen one. He knows the sauce. He knows the dream. He feels the magic. This boy knows what's up.
But even if it just means that we all get to experience true classic WoW together once more and revel in the magnificence of the game, then that's enough for me, and I hope you'll join me for the ride.
Yeah, true.
If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, I've linked a playlist to the whole Fresh Vanilla adventure for you. How convenient, right? I am a generous soul man.
Vulgarin.
If you like the vibe of the channel, then I'd encourage you to subscribe.
Anyway, that's pretty much it for the video. This was Quizzer Sensei. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.